What's up? Today's book review is on The Lean Startup by Reis. Awesome book if you're in business or you're starting a company or you have any idea that you want to try and make a profit off of. This is a great freaking book. It's a very practical, it's almost like a how-to book from a very successful business consultant, I guess. What is the book about? How to start a business. So like I said, if you have any desire to get into business, to start a business, to make any kind of other income, this book is a lot of really awesome information. What is being said? Okay, so this book is, like I said, a practical book. It's almost like a how-to book, but it's very technical in the business field. So this is also a really good book if you're just getting into business. This is really good information for you just to learn a lot of the terms, a lot of what's going on, what are the basics that you need to have a business. That's pretty much what, I don't want to reduce it to a beginner's book, but it certainly gives you a very full picture of what a business is and how it runs. And for me, that was huge because I don't really have much business knowledge. And I've tried certain business ventures in the past that never really worked. But now that I've read this, I have a much clearer understanding of why they didn't work and how I can do it better the next time. Vanity versus actionable metrics. Okay, so let's just use what I'm doing now as an example. My brand. I'm trying to make a personal brand for myself. I get a lot of likes and follows on Instagram, but they're from butts and boobs, or from Young Entrepreneur 442 and all these kind of like fake accounts that are just pure marketing accounts. And so I'm getting likes and follows from those people, but those what would be called vanity. They're empty. Or if let's say I get a commercial, hey, check out Adam Sparrow or Logical Justice or Adam Sparrow's book club on Instagram. I do a commercial and then all these people come check out my page. All of that is vanity until you have people who are actually discussing and talking about your product. Actual engagement is the true essence of a business. Anything that comes from pure publicity and people just come to put eyes on your product for a few seconds, it gives you the opportunity to get dedicated customers, but those customers are considered vanity, and sometimes businesses get caught up in the activity they're getting, but they're not focusing on the actual feedback and core use that customers are giving, which is usually much less. MVP totally changed my view about how prototyping works. MVP stands for most viable product. So I was trying to develop an app recently, and I will one day. It's called WorldStream. Those of you who know about it, I love the idea of WorldStream, and I just am not in the right position to start launching that as of right now. But the problem I was having for WorldStream is I have this app idea, and I'm in a dilemma because I need to get investors, but I also need to show them a product. No one wants to invest, in the world of investing at least, no one wants to hear some guy come up say, hey, I have some idea, I think it's really great, you should invest in it. It doesn't really work so easily. You have to have some kind of measurable progress already before you can get a company to invest. That's not always true. What he talks about in the book actually is called like the audacity of zero or the potential of zero or something. Sometimes when a company has no data, it allows the investor to fantasize about this company becoming the next big thing and just going from 0 to 100. Boom, and good thing I was on that gravy train. That is actual phenomenon, and you could harness that. But I've always thought about it in a sense that I wanted to have a product, and this is what he talks about, the most viable product. The cheapest product you can make, prototype, is another way to think about it. The cheapest product you can make that conveys your goal or results in a testable product. You want to have something that at least people can use. You don't want to have too small of a prototype that people don't understand the essence of your product, and you don't want to have it too big. You don't want to come in with a haymaker right hook. You don't want to put everything into your opening. It's more about having a seed and nurturing it as it grows into a plant. And the benefit of having the most valuable product is you're getting feedback, and you're building little by little until you have something great. Testing. That's pretty much what I was talking about with the MVP. Is it gives you an object to experiment with. And when he talks about experimentation, he actually uses a very scientific method type of process of testing. Something called split testing, which I never really understood until reading this book, is do two different things. Advertise your company or provide a service in two different ways. Like let's say you have 1,000 email subscriptions, email 500 of them one thing, and email the other 500 another thing, and see which gets the most results. And you can do this a whole bunch of ways. Problem solution. Something he talks about in the book is, if you're going to make a product, make sure the customer is aware of the problem. A product is something of value that you're giving to people. Something that really is unfortunate in our society sometimes is when people have a negative conception of business, money, marketing, because it's so fundamental to life, I feel like, that to cut that out, to banish that from your group of acceptable ideas is very limiting. What businesses are doing is they're solving problems for people. They're solving a problem that's so prevalent that they're willing to give money to the company. And then the company uses that money to make their product even better, which in turn gives more value to the customer. Don't be afraid of business. But what he was talking about, that's just my own little tangent there, but what he's talking about is make sure you can communicate that there is a problem, or that the customer is already aware of a problem, and communicate that you have the solution. You have the best solution. You have an affordable solution. Is it true? Yes, there's nothing I really could argue with. I'm not very strong in this field. I'm just going to give a yes, or mostly yes, because there wasn't anything that really stood out that I was like, whoa, like I have a problem with that from any kind of moral or economic point of view. What of it? What's the significance of this freaking book? It can save a company from failing for sure. Obviously, like I always say, I only cover a very little bit amount of what's actually in the book. But if you read this thing cover to cover, you're going to have a more efficient business, and you're going to increase this probability that your business is going to be successful. It's just great information. There's no reason to not read it. It's cheap. It's almost 300 pages. It's a little tough, but it's when you're weighing the value of your business versus the time it would take to read a book, it's invaluable what this can do. Insights. He talks about something I thought was really cool was an engine. The engine of a company has three main points: build, measure, learn. And in between there, so you build a product, you measure it, you gain data, and you learn. And every cycle you make, your business is getting better and better and better. And another way to help your business be successful is whenever you have a problem, ask why 5 times. This broke down. Why did it break down? Because it wasn't lubricated enough. Why wasn't it lubricated enough? Because Jimmy was sick that day. How come we don't have anybody covering Jimmy's position? Why can't we automate Jimmy's position? questions. At least ask 5 questions, and that will get you to the root of the problem, which is something you can remedy, thus making your company better. That's all I got. Read it. If you're business oriented in any way, want to be an entrepreneur or have some kind of business, or your family's in a business, or maybe you can help your friend who's in a business, because ultimately strong small businesses, strong businesses in general, no matter how big or small, I should say actually, is important for the economy, for everybody. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.